Hello everyone, back with me again Karina. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about male entitlement. Living in this patriarchal society, I've heard a lot of sexist stereotypes, like the idea that women should be able to do certain things while men should be good at sports, or that men should speak gently and women should be feminine. There are also stereotypes that associate men wearing makeup or using skincare products with being effeminate. Unfortunately, these stereotypes are often dismissed by society as harmless and not damaging anyone. But what we often fail to realize is that these gender stereotypes have serious implications, like a domino effect. Firstly, they enforce strict definitions of masculinity and femininity, and as humans, we are forced to conform to these rigid ideas of what it means to be masculine or feminine. Especially for men, if a man doesn't conform to gender norms or behave differently from what is expected of his gender, he is often marginalized because others perceive him as emasculating himself and see emasculation as something shameful. Furthermore, gender stereotypes promote a hierarchy between women and men, ultimately leading to misogyny or hatred towards women. The idea that women are inherently inferior and subordinate to men limits women's movements and independence. Regarding rigid masculinity, traits like sexual dominance, emotional passivity, and aggressive behavior are reinforced as the norm. Men are encouraged and pushed to prove their masculinity. They have to show it, as if masculinity is something they have to earn or naturally possess. Due to these stereotypes, many men are taught from a young age that they are better than women, stronger, superior, and more deserving of leadership and guidance. They are also told that they need to be in control. Consequently, men grow up with inflated egos, truly believing that they are superior and ready to dominate, to take up more space. All of this manifests as a phenomenon called male entitlement, the desire to always seek and maintain power and dominance. As long as patriarchy exists, they believe they are entitled to it. When these men face rejection of their perceived entitlement, they feel like losers, become desperate, left out, and ashamed. They feel the need to do something to make a statement. Their goal is to replace that shame with pride and to show us that I'm the guy, I am in control. Often, their statements take the form of aggressive or even violent behavior because toxic masculinity. The belief that men must be aggressive and violent convinces them that such behavior is justified. They feel played, rejected, and unappreciated. What are some examples of male entitlement? There are many men who don't like to be told, not just toxic men but also regular men. What's the most common story? Well, many of us may have heard or even experienced situations where a guy pursues a girl and even after she coldly rejects him, he continues to chase her, becoming increasingly close, aggressive, annoying, and intrusive. Unfortunately, stories like this are often romanticized, with the guy being seen as sweet for putting in so much effort to chase the girl. Girls, if you come across a guy like this, run. It's not sweet, it's a red flag. For example, there's the case of Zahir Jafar from Pakistan who raped and then murdered a woman named Nur Muqaddar, simply because she rejected his marriage proposal. Another example is the case of Mason Greenwood, who was abusive to his partner. His partner recorded an incident where Mason forced her to have sex and punched her when she refused. Mason's reasoning was because you said no. This is a clear example of male entitlement, where the man seeks to control and coerce his partner, using the excuse that she belongs. In this specific case, Mason expects to obtain sex as an obligation from their partner, even though sex should be consensual and not forced, but rather something both parties mutually desire. Another example of male entitlement is honor killing. Honor killings often occur in South Asia, the Middle East, and other places where patriarchal culture is still deeply ingrained. For those who don't know, honor killing is a criminal act committed against a family member deemed to have behaved inappropriately according to cultural or religious standards, bringing shame to the family. Women are the primary victims, and according to the data from the United Nations, 5,000 women and girls become victims of honor killings every year. I mention honor killing as an example of entitlement because the perpetrators, mostly men, whether they are older or younger brothers, uncles, cousins, or even fathers themselves, feel disrespected or undervalued by these women. At the same time, due to their toxic masculinity, they feel like they should be in control. Consequently, they believe they have the right to take the lives of these women. Recently, there was another mass shooting in a school in Robb Elementary School, Uvalde, Texas, in the United States. Mass shootings like this have happened frequently, and the media tends to simplify it by attributing the actions to mental health issues. Interestingly, another pattern has emerged slowly, revealing that many of these shooters also display misogynistic behaviors such as violence against women. Everyone for Gun Safety conducted an analysis using data from the FBI and media reports, and found that there were 156 mass shootings in the US from January 2009 to December 2016. Out of the 156 cases, 85 involved victims who were either former partners or family members of the perpetrators. For example, Omar Martin, the shooter at Pulse nightclub in Orlando, Florida, was reported by his first and second wives for his tendency to become easily angry and physically abusive towards them, even for trivial reasons such as pulling their hair or choking them. The same goes for Esteban Santiago, the shooter at the Fort Lauderdale airport in Florida, who was previously arrested for choking his girlfriend. Misogynistic behavior or thinking is also found in school shooting perpetrators like Eric Harris. After he opened fire at Columbine High School, his diary was found with a disturbing entry that read, I just want to be surrounded by the flash of a woman. Elliot Roger, who sued female students at UC Santa Barbara, created a video manifesto expressing his loneliness and the rejection he experienced from women. He even wrote, if I can't have them, I will destroy them. Salvador Ramos, the recent shooter at Robb Elementary School, had previously harassed girls on social media to gain their attention before the shooting. All of the examples mentioned above are products of male entitlement. These individuals believe that because they are men, they are entitled to respect, dominance, and all the attention they desire. However, when they realize they don't receive these things, they decide to act on their entitlement to make a statement, unfortunately resulting in taking the life of others. The main takeaway from all of this is the danger of toxic masculinity. When discussing patriarchy, many men tend to believe it is not their fight and not their problem, but clearly it is everyone's problem. Even seemingly harmless stereotypes can lead to serious phenomena. Now, the question is, what can we do? First, we need to learn more about gender equality and patriarchy. We should open our eyes to what is happening around us and avoid countering arguments about equality by trivializing them. Second, we need to continue questioning ourselves about masculinity and femininity, understanding that gender is about identity and not just biological sex. We must collectively perceive masculinity and femininity as a shared understanding, and we need to stop promoting cultures that exclusively benefit men. Furthermore, for those identifying as men, we must recognize that within male circles there is a so-called homosociality encouraged by patriarchy, where men are encouraged to protect and maintain gender hierarchies. That's why many men justify the actions of other men who engage in harassment, aggression, and abuse, hiding behind the excuse that everyone makes mistakes. That's all for this video, and the topic is quite heavy. However, I believe it is crucial to discuss because I honestly see male entitlement phenomena everywhere. And I think we need to talk about it more often. See you in the next video. Bye.